Hello!
Hello!
Well, today we have great news. We just finished installing the insulation of this first part of our tiny shipping container house using aluminum foil with EPS core.
Yeah, so today we are gonna talk about how we did it and we are gonna let you know what we think about the product.
So, let's get started. Well, if it's your first time here, we suggest you to pause this video and to watch this other video first. This is last week's episode where we show you the insulation product we're using, and we explain everything you need to know about it. After that, you can come back to this episode and it's gonna make a lot more sense. This being said, this episode is gonna be as straightforward as possible. We're basically gonna show you guys a video clip of us installing the insulations on the walls and sealing it properly so in the end works.
Yeah, we hope so. And after that, we are gonna answer all the questions people asked on last week's video, right?
So, video clip?
Now!
You know, sometimes plans change. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So, as you guys know, I think, we decide to close the vents of the shipping container. And you're gonna do that using spray foam. But first, we need to take off the net that we put here. Seems like these 2 minutes never end. I think it's done, right?
No.
Not enough.
I think it's good. So much easier to just do this. Yeah, that's a big decision. We could just screw like this and would work fine, but we would lose 2 centimeters of house space, but would be so much easier. And we are like, we're not sure if it's not worth to do like this, It would be so much easier. Yeah. So now is the scary moment. We need to, Get the places of the brackets?
Yeah. Seems like it's here.
It's born.
Yeah, it's not bad.
have a lot of taping to do today.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys tomorrow, right?
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if you understood, but the reason why we did such a small piece of insulation is because here is really tricky to do all the drawings. So here we still need to seal this, and this will make easier for us to, slide the bigger piece. So now we do a small piece around the window, and then we just seal with this tape both sides together.
Yep.
It's gonna work.
What's the plan?
I'm just gonna glue with contact glue a few spots, just a few, just to guarantee it won't move, because it's really tight on place.
Yeah, it's true.
But,
So you put some sticks on some plates?
yeah, just to, apply glue on both sides and so they don't touch each other until it dries. It's gonna work. Ready? So now the glue is dry, 15 minutes later. Hopefully you will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much better. Done with the tape. Now we just have two more things to do. First one, what we need to do is screw the entire frame back on place. So let's do it. And now the last step. Spray foam to seal the windows. Let's see if it works.
Wondering why we cut this insulation into so many parts.
Well, it wasn't actually our choice. This insulation would be a lot easier to be installed if we did that before we finished the framing of the house. But, we found out about the product after we had finished the framing already, and, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So with the framing on place, we basically had two options. First, we could install the insulation in front of the framing.
Yeah, this way we are gonna lose 2 centimeters of each side.
Yeah, we would lose.
Centimeters.
Yeah, we would lose like 2 centimeters of house space, and we also would have a lot bigger air gap in between the shipping container plate and the insulation. So we decided to use the insulation behind the framing, and in order to do that, we have
the brackets.
We have the brackets on place. Yeah, was a mess. Basically, we need to take some of these studs off, the screws off, and we need to cut some pieces, bigger pieces into smaller pieces so it could fit into the place. And the important thing is that for this kind of insulation we need to have, you know, the surface sealed with tape. And that we did well.
Yeah, I guess we can go straight to the Q&A, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if you noticed on the video clip, but the only place we didn't use tape was around the windows. And the reason for that is because it was too tricky and the tape wouldn't glue well, you know, wouldn't attach well to that surface. So we decided instead of using tape to, you know, if this is the window, we slide the insulation as far as we could go here, and then we apply spray foam in between. In this way, I guess it's gonna be sealed, right?
We hope so.
Yeah. So now let's go to the Q&A. So, question number 1.
Why we didn't use spray foam as insulation?
Well, we have actually answered this question tons of times. But if you didn't get your answer yet, there is one reason why we don't use spray foam, and that's not because we don't like the product. We wish we could use spray foam, but there is no spray foam available where we live in Brazil. What I mean by that is that in São Paulo, a big city, they have spray foam, but they, you know, the companies work with bigger projects for like warehouses and factories, big things, and
Not
they
for
won't.
tiny houses.
Yeah, not for tiny house. That means like if we had like a huge factory here, they would come to do insulation for us. But if we have a small house, they won't come all the way from São Paulo to Florianópolis where we live to do a tiny project. So that means it's not available. But people ask also, why don't we buy DIY spray foam kit? They don't sell here. I mean, we have, you know, product A and B that we can mix and create the spray foam, but you don't have the gun to do it. And people say, so why don't you buy outside of Brazil? Just buy online.
Yeah.
But it's always tricky to buy stuff online in Brazil.
Mainly
First,
liquids. I think liquids is worse.
but even if it was just the spray foam gun, takes like 2-3 months to get here. And once it gets here, the taxes on imports are just so high. Like, let's say if you buy a kit that's $700, when it gets here, it's gonna be $1,500 because taxes are just.
Yeah.
So basically, there's no availability. Yeah.
That's.
Question number 2. Why we didn't use Insufest?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use Insufest?
We also don't have here in Brazil.
Yeah, Insufest, I don't know if you know, it's a product that's made out of EPS, I guess. So they make like plates that you can attach it with like the perfect, you know, drawing of the walls of the shipping container, and they are made to use in the shipping container. And tons of people just being comment, oh, you guys should use this, you guys should use this, you guys should use Insufest, you guys should use this. Yeah, actually the company even sent us an email because some of our subscribers sent them an email saying that they should contact us because we should use Insufest.
Yeah.
But what they said is that they don't sell to Brazil and they won't ship to Brazil because it's gonna take too long. It's gonna be the same thing as spray foam. There is no Insufest available. We wish we could use, but we also cannot use.
Yeah.
But we are happy with the product we're using. Actually, took a while to find something that we like it, but this product is pretty good. So right now, we're using this because we actually want to use this because we just like it.
Yeah.
Question 3. Did you lose the signal of the cell phone inside of the house because of the insulation now?
It
Well,
was not that good before.
Yeah, we never had the signal here, so I don't know. I mean, like, we have signal, but it's really low. But I guess a shipping container, the signal might be not that good already, or the place here is not that good, I'm not sure. So it's basically the same as it was before, not that good. Did the acoustic change? Well, hopefully you can tell by the audio we were talking. I think the audio is much better now, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure, actually.
Yeah. Hello!
Hello. Hello.
Hello! Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
I don't know how it's gonna be when we put plywood on the walls or drywall, I'm not sure yet. But for now, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to use any other kind of insulation on the top of that?
No, we are planning not to use because we don't think it's necessary where we live, right?
Yeah, basically you need to understand that all we are doing is based on our weather, and our weather is mild, let's say.
Yeah.
On summer, the average temperature must be like
30.
27. No, the average is like 27, sometimes get to 32 degrees Celsius. In the winter, it's like usually 13, 15, 17, and sometimes gets to 10, 8.
I guess
So-
today is the coldest day of the winter, and it's like 13.
Yeah, so basically it's not that hot and it's not that cold. So the insulation, I think for our case, it's enough.
Yeah.
If you live in a country that snows and it's like minus 20, you might need some extra insulation, or you just use spray foam if you have available.
Or
but
in places like that are really hot, like in Africa.
yeah, true. But
think.
I think for the hot, this is really good actually.
Yeah.
But if you're in Brazil, in our opinion, that's probably the best product available for using in a shipping container. I think for our weather, it's just perfect. I think works really good.
Yeah, it's really easy to handle, as we said before.
Yeah.
Really easy to install it.
It's easy to install. It's clean to install. You don't need to use how you call like safety gears. Like you know, like if you install fiberglass, you need to have like a lot of masks and suits and the whole thing. With this, you just have like a knife and scissor, and that's it, and a tape.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
How can we find this product?
Well, if you're in Brazil, there is a link on the description below. But if you're not in Brazil, it's a little bit trickier. This company that we bought is Brazilian. That means that they don't sell outside of Brazil. But there are other companies that do similar products in different countries. Well, how to find them? We don't know the name of the company any specific company, but you can Google for aluminum foil insulation.
With EPS core?
Yeah, actually there are a few different ones. You can find like, you know...
Fiberglass core.
Yeah, you can find like aluminum foil with fiberglass core, with EPS core, with
Double bubble.
Double bubble they call it. It's basically like a plastic with air bubbles in the middle.
And someone said that's really good, that works
Yeah,
for containers.
So basically you need to Google it. We found out that it's easier to Google on Google Images, and then you look for one that's white, that looks like EPS, and then you'll find a company that, you know, sells them. So now the two most asked questions. First,
does it work?
Yeah, actually the insulation works. We were lucky that the day we were installing the north wall, it was basically a summer day in the winter. It was almost 30 degrees Celsius outside, and the sun hit the plate of the shipping container all the afternoon. So the plate was really, really hot, and you could tell that, you know, like you coming on the inside, and on the part that we didn't insulate yet, it was burning hot. And the part that we insulated was just a little bit warm, but not bad at all. I mean, like for our standards, for our weather, that was really good.
Yeah.
And the next day, actually, the winter came back, and the cold front came back, and was really cold. And even though the plate was really cold, the insulation was just regular temperature, not cold, not that cold.
Yeah.
So now that we taped the whole thing and we sealed the wall, we still need like a few days or a few weeks to guarantee it works, but we do believe it works.
And we still have just one part of the shipping container, then we still have to do the other.
That's true. So if you have any suggestion about the insulation that we could get better, please let us know, because we're going to insulate the second half of the shipping container probably in a month or maybe 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, we don't know.
And we can, you know, fix small mistakes that we've done. And in the second part, we're going to be lucky that we don't have the framing already. So it's going to be a lot easier. We're just going to, you know, just lay the sheets and tape, and it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Let's hope. And now, the last and most asked question.
How much does the insulation cost?
We paid $3.85 US the square meter, or in our money, 15 reais the square meter. Well, I don't think that's a bad price. For the quality of the product, I think it's a pretty good price. And remember that this price is the standard price. There's no discount on that. That's the price. And
That's pretty good.
I think it's worth. I mean, like in our experience, it's a little bit expensive than fiberglass.
More expensive?
Yeah, I always say wrong way. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than fiberglass, a little bit more expensive than PET wool.
More
But
expensive.
did I say right now?
More expensive.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more expensive
Yay.
than fiberglass and a little bit more expensive than PET wool. But for the quality of the product, I think it's good.
Yeah. And I think before we finish this video, we have a question for you.
Oh, we have a question for you. Yeah, we now got to a point that we need to do the finishing of the walls, but we have so many doubts about it. Some days we wanted to do plywood, some days we wanted to do drywall. Back a few months ago, the plan was to do plywood with laminated finishing, but it's really tough. It's not tough, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot more expensive.
Yay!
So basically now we gave up on the plywood with laminated finishing, and we are deciding in between plywood with paint or drywall with paint. We wanted to know your thoughts about it. if you want to help us, leave us a comment down below saying what you prefer, drywall or plywood with paint, and why you prefer. What are your thoughts about it? How hard is to work with this or with that, and how, if you have any experience, I don't know.
Yeah.
You name it. You can say anything you want, but just try to give us
Yeah.
a light, as we say in Portuguese. Give us a light. I don't know if that's the same.
Lighten us.
Yeah, lightning.
Enlighten.
Enlighten. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we need your help to help us to decide if we go with plywood or with drywall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Next week, we are gonna finally show you, hopefully, because we didn't do yet, the installation of the ceiling panels. Right now, we have insulation, as you know, but we are gonna have, like, for architecture purpose and to look better at the house, we're gonna have a ceiling panel on the top.
That we already built it.
If you didn't watch that, there is a video here that shows us building the panels. And hopefully, with the help of some friends, because it's really heavy, the panel, we're gonna lift it up this week and we're gonna show you next week.
Yeah. So, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, just make sure to subscribe.
You have a button here, so now I need to go leave like this, so the button is still here.
So, see you guys
See you
next
guys
week.
next week.